Hi and welcome to Dynamic Stillness Mindfulness. Sitting in my car here, so hopefully it won't get too dark. Today I've been feeling like I have this emotion that I need to express. Just gonna move you a little bit and see if I can get the light better. But I don't really know what it is, or I just it's not a clear thing, and it's not really expressing itself in any particular way. So I'm gonna do a mindfulness practice to kind of move that. Now, before we get into that, just a reminder that you're doing this for yourself, and in this practice we're going to go into the emotion, whatever it is for you. And so if it feels too edgy or too overwhelming to just like fully feel the emotion, please don't do that. There is a possibility of getting stuck in, like, if you in the middle of it decide you start fighting it, there's a possibility of getting stuck in that feeling state, and not like feeling it more than you're doing now, but not really moving it up. So I want to be very clear that you're doing this at your own risk. I mean, the risk is very little, but I'm used to holding that. So, and I know what it feels like. But if this is your first time, I would definitely recommend your first time to be with a facilitator. Thank you. So that get an idea of what it feels like to really kind of dive in deep into the emotion, especially if you've been suppressing your emotions, because then there's another exercise for that, which is just basically feeling that feeling for a set amount of time, whether it's a minute or 2 minutes, but setting a timer for it, and then going and nurturing yourself, or having just something to, like, if you use something for numbing, basically use that afterwards. So for me, it would be reading a book or watching a series. It could be eating cheese, having a glass of wine. I do not recommend going on a bender. But having that hot bath, something. So that would, if you're in the beginner stages of feeling your feelings after suppressing them for a long time, that would be where I would start. So this exercise is more for those who have some experience holding their emotions and don't get too overwhelmed. If you do start feeling overwhelmed, like over 6 or 7 on your discomfort scale, I would recommend stopping the video there, taking some deep breaths, go and nurture yourself, do something fun, take that hot bath, whatever it is for you. Okay, end of the disclaimer. Let's just get into the exercise. So closing your eyes, breathing deeply into your belly, feeling how your rib cage and chest expands when you breathe in, and how it slowly bounces back when you breathe out. Really breathe out any tensions in your body and just relax into the exercise. Feeling, sensing, seeing your outer boundaries, and feeling your breath pull you within those boundaries to fill the space fully with your awareness. You can even ground yourself, center yourself. Hadn't really notice this until I started doing these exercises with you, but I tend to center myself in that sort of quiet space when I want to ask a question or when I want to see what's happening around me. So that kind of feels like the neutral space for me, where I can ask the questions from. So now that you have awareness of your body, is there any particular place that's calling for your attention? Once you find that, for me it's very, very strong, this particular sensation. Just notice where you feel it in your body. And if you can, like, I'm very visual, so I can kind of see what it looks like, or if there's a consistency, that kind of thing. Not everybody does that, and that's okay, but if you notice those, just notice those. And just get close to that space. And feel and sense, see if you can sense an emotion coming from that place. And it can be a combination of emotions. For me, I feel the sadness and this anger. This feels, for me, this feels old. So, you can get an idea of if this is something that's from today, from this year, or even like further out, further into your past. And this feels like it's been there for a while and it's really looking a way out. And so when you're ready to really fully feel it as intensely as you can, and notice as intensely as you can touch that space. You can even step into it, and I kind of see it spreading all throughout my body, so I'm feeling it with my whole being. And now the idea is to just stay there and let that, like, breathe deeply. Deep breaths. That helps to move the energy. And I need to really, I need to shut up now so I can do my own process. So I'm going to be quiet until I'm done with my process. But what I'm going to be doing is really fully feeling that with every part of my being as intensely as I can, and breathing deeply through it. It may get quite intense at times, but it kind of has like this, gets tenser and it has this crescendo, and then it starts waning off. And so just keep breathing through it until it's fully gone, and then you can go back to that place where you felt it and see how that looks like now, if you're done before me. So now I'm going to shut up and just really feel into my own process. And like, if you feel like it, if there's a lot of anger, you may scream, you may punch a pillow. Don't hurt anybody or yourself, or don't break anything you regret breaking afterwards or don't want to clean up. If there's sadness, you may start crying. That's all good. That's great. And if you can, let it out in a way that feels good for you. But again, the rules are not hurting yourself or anyone else, or breaking anything that you regret breaking or don't want to clean up, because you are the one having to clean it up afterwards. All right, here we go. just mention it because this was coming up for me. Sometimes you may get a feeling of like a younger part of you saying something or feeling something. Like for me, it's just feeling neglected at the moment. So you can do a little bit of inner child work, kind of going and giving your inner child what it needed at that time when this got started. And if you haven't done inner child work before, don't worry about it. Just keep breathing into it. Do what feel like you'll know intuitively what you need to do, and just go do that. Trust your intuition here. Alright, if your process is still unfinished, just pause the recording. I'm gonna move on. So I like to end this with gratitude and love for myself for doing this process, like really filling up with that delicious earth energy of support, peacefulness, calm, love, and just like really let that go throughout the body. You can also check in on that place where you felt that sensation. See what's happening there. For me, it feels very spacious at the moment. And I'm starting to notice other tensions in my body, but I'm not going to go there, not today. That's for another time. So breathe in that loving energy, let it seep into every single cell of your being. And when you're ready, come back to the space you're in, becoming aware of your surroundings, wiggling your fingers and toes and opening your eyes when you're ready. Right, how was that? How do you feel? I'd really love to hear that in the comments. My process often is quite subtle, so you rarely will see me scream in these sessions or cry a lot. I may start like shedding tears, but sometimes I do get those days. And for me, it's often more subtle shifts in energy. And about my process just now, I can tell you that there was some child work. There were some things that released without me really consciously knowing all the things or reasons behind why I had that sensation in my throat. Like I know some of it, but it shifted without me really realizing what happened. And sometimes that can happen. You don't necessarily always need to know all the details. So just saying that it just gets to be done even if you don't know all the parts of it. And just being happy with that. And I actually I've been really irritated today, and you can see me smile now. I feel so much better. I hope you do too. And tomorrow we'll probably do something different. But yeah, please let me know how you feel about this. Was it too much? Was it not enough? Like, what would you like to have me do next? All right. Have a lovely rest of your day.